HYDROPAL120 is a system of water-based painting for the bodywork proposed by PALINAL according to European VOC regulations. By changing only the binder, the system allows you to reproduce both base coat matte enamels in metallic and pearl pastel colors and direct gloss enamels for solid colors. With only 25 liters of Hydropal base colors, you can achieve more than 100,000 car, motorcycle, RAL, Pantone, NCS formulas and for agricultural machinery. The tutorial is dedicated to the preparation of shade 120 Hydropal and its application. Through the PAL column finder software, the operator is searching for the formula of the shade to reproduce. To facilitate the choice of shade, PALINAL provides the CHROMA-CARD color frame of reference, showing about 20,000 car shades, including variants. As an alternative to CHROMA-CARD, the search can be made through PALINAL spectrophotometer. For each shade, PAL column finder shows as highlighted the color of the filler on which the enamel will have to be applied. Once he has found the formula for the desired shade, the operator positions the base colors required by it on the working table. Weighing will then start. Each product must be thoroughly stirred, overturning the pot for about 15 seconds. This operation ensures a perfect mixing of the product to be stored and applied at 20 degrees Celsius. When weighing is completed, the shade in the cup must be mixed thoroughly until it becomes impossible to identify layers and lines of color on the inner side of the container. Only when the shade is perfectly homogeneous, you add a 5% 115.0120 hardener and then mix again. The dilution of the shade is performed as reported in the formula. The diluted shade must then be mixed and filtered with filter number 2500, 125 microns. For the purposes of demonstration, the operator is using a high transfer spray gun with incorporated filter. The application of 120 Hydropal shade metallic and pearl occurs in 3 phases. First of all, a very light and thin coat is highly recommended to remove any micro-impurities due to the presence of silicone in the air. Then proceed to the application of 2 regular and uniform coats with a few minutes interval between them. Finally, and of absolute importance, the so-called final fade-out, which consists of a very thin and uniform coat. Proper adjustment of the airbrush in each stage of application is critical to achieving an excellent result. For the purposes of demonstration, a SATA-JET 4000 HVLP gun is being used. Application of shade first requires that the support on which you apply the filler indicated in PAL column finder, when completely dry and well sanded, be cleaned with 100D1990 anti-silicone remover. Finally, for each stage of application, proper adjustment of the airbrush is of fundamental importance and changes depending on the model of gun used. Please refer to the airbrush regulation table provided by PALINAL, which shows the required adjustment for the different models. In this case, the operator is setting air pressure to 1.90 bars by using a SATA-JET 4000 HVLP gun. Then proceed to the application of the first coat, very light and very thin, while maintaining an application distance of 10 to 15 centimeters from the support. In the left section, the small amount of product dispensed is put into evidence. After flash time of only 20 seconds, at 20 degrees Celsius, the enamel applied must be dry. It is then possible to proceed to the second phase of application. Keeping the previous adjustment of the airbrush and the same application distance of 10 to 15 centimeters from the stand, apply two regular and uniform coats with a few minutes interval between them, depending on the relative humidity. By using forced air Ventury system, the operator will just need a few seconds between the two coats. Once the base coat is well dry, you can proceed with the final phase of application, the so-called final fade-out, a very thin homogeneous coat. The great importance of correct fading out is well highlighted by the test the operator is executing, covering part of the surface with a white paper. We will then proceed to fading out only on the non-covered area. This will allow us to compare the results of application of the same shade depending on whether or not final fading out has been carried out. Final fade out must be executed by strictly respecting the following rules: application on well-dried bases, reduction of air pressure according to airbrush adjustment table, reduction to half the amount of product dispensed, increase of the distance of application up to 20 to 25 centimeters. For proper adjustment of the different models of airbrush, please refer to the Adjusting the Airbrush for Final Fading Out table provided by PALINAL. The operator adjusts air pressure to 1 bar and the amount of product dispensed requires setting of the airbrush at 1 revolution. For a correct application of final fade-out, keep an application distance from the support of 20 to 25 centimeters. In the right section, through the application on a white sheet, the amount of product needed for a proper final fading out is highlighted. In fact, the application of a higher quantity of product compromises the desired tone of shade, not allowing aluminium to position itself on the surface, as instead it is necessary to obtain the required result. Uncovering the part of the mud guard on which final fading out has not been executed, the different color obtained compared to the original shade of the car is clearly evident. After flash time of 5 minutes at 20 degrees Celsius, you can apply one of PALINAL Clear's solvent base at VOC at 420 grams per liter, or one of the anti-scratch clears. The operator is applying PALINAL Clear at VOC 420 223 Shine. The result obtained is optimal, absolutely comparable to a solvent cycle application, but with a saving on the time cycle of 30%, attributable to the reduced flash time between coats, thanks to the use of the Ventury system and to the lower number of coats needed to reach the target covering. Remember that for all the pearl and metallic shades offered by the system HYDROPAL120, the correct execution of fading out is essential to obtain the result promised.